Hello, good day, welcome to my channel. My name is Ike and you are here on my channel, and thank you so much for stopping by. Without much ado, I would like to touch base on what has been trending back here in the UK as well as Nigeria. Over the last few days, we have come to hear of the accusation and allegation against a Nigerian senator by the name of Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Nwaneka Eweremadu, who have been apparently arrested by the United Kingdom police for charges of human organ trafficking from Nigeria relating to a 15-year-old. Well, of course, we know across the boards of all social media, there's been a lot of people, speculating, some apparently accusing of some propaganda to cover up for him, and some saying the boy wasn't 15, the boy is 21, the boy is this or that. Now, let's take all that aside. The reason I want to make this video, and for anyone watching, especially those in leadership, is to please to appeal to your inner side. People like me and many others who live in diaspora, I am a proud Nigerian. I'm so proud of where I was born, although I consider myself British, and everything I do by virtue of my lifestyle, my home life, my work is very much British, but it is almost impossible to erase that part of you wherever you are, whether you're from Ghana, South Africa, whatever, but then there comes a time like this sort of situation where none of us ever expected it, and you hear in news concerning a senator, someone who was apparently number 4 in the federal power, from the president, vice president, to the Senate president, whatever they call them, and then he was the assistant. Now, yes, we know it is innocent until proven guilty. But for those of you who may or may not understand the way the law works here in the United Kingdom, often when you are denied bail, there seems to be a strong suggestion that the authorities, must have something stronger against you than you realize. Unlike many African countries, the beauty of where we live, we all call home now, United Kingdom, is that the rule of law prevails, irrespective of your status or your monetary power or what have you. I personally pray and hope that this is all a mistake, but let us go by what we know. Well, I would like to, there are 2 things I want to point out here. One is lamentation and the personal irk in my heart, and I'm sure across many other Nigerians all over the world, whereby this situation is about a senator who apparently, he denies it, or those in his camp deny it, have lured a young man, whatever the age, forget about the age, because we have a very strict rule in United Kingdom. You do not pay anyone in any form or shape for donation of any organ. It has to be donation. That's why they call it donation, so that there should be no monetary incentive in any form or shape. Now, irrespective of the age of this young man, be he 15, we understand, if I'm following what I'm reading from reputable news channels, then I'll go by his age, because they do tell us on BBC, on Mail Online, and several other news channels that the young man has been taken into care safely. And in this country, part of the world, when we talk about taking a young person into care, there seems to be a suggestion that the young person involved is not of age to even give consent. And even if someone gave you consent, you have to be able to prove that no money in any form or shape has taken place. And we also live in a country, for anyone coming to United Kingdom for such a thing as a kidney, a transplant, or any kind of medical, I'm sure, I would like to think, as intelligent, well-educated people, as the senator and his wife were, that you would have actually made yourself aware of the law of the land. Just like if I'm going on a holiday to a country that is foreign to me, where I do not live, I'd like to make sure that if I'm going there to do business or holiday or something, that I actually take time to do my research to make sure I'm not breaking the law. So anyway, here we have it. It's all over the news. It's all over WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. And personally, like I said, I am embarrassed, and I genuinely pray that this couple are innocent, but then we will come to know what details of the charges are come July the 7th. So apparently they were arrested on the 21st. They went to court, where they were found they were going on their way to Turkey. Apparently, from something someone else sent me this morning, just before I went for my service, coming from the young man, apparently we can't say until they've been to court. He was connected by a Mrs. Okoro in Nigeria. We've heard of such things regarding people going to India, Dubai, being lured for their organs, even when they don't realize. I like to pray that this is not it, but then we can see where the weight of seemingly the evidence the UK police have against this couple. So he was promised that he was going to meet a senator who happened to be Senator Ike Ekweremadu, and who promised, or he was promised, a job in the UK. Lo and behold, maybe whoever was doing the connection, or maybe the Ekweremadus did not actually do their homework to understand that in this part of the world, where there's something like transplant, whether it's liver, kidney, what have you, we do not take it lightly. The authorities do not take it lightly. You cannot put it this way. I mean, I don't know what happens in India. I've just read about some of these gruesome things. But in this part of the world, before a doctor and anybody will do any kind of transplant, you're given a lot of support. They will ask you questions. And unlike you Africans, I think everything is all about shouting and barking. There's a beautiful, subtle, humble way we do things in this part of the world. So much so that a doctor or authority might be talking to you and you think, oh, and you relax and you think, oh, I can lie my way through this, or they don't know. Often that when I hear people, especially when it comes to visa, insulting the intelligence of the British when it suits them, thinking, oh, maybe they will notice, or they don't know that people do lie about their ages or what they're coming to do. And they're just actually talking to you nicely. They're taking note of every body movement and everything you tell them. So I'm sure, apparently the boy said thanks to Harry. Harry was apparently the doctor, the surgeon who was supposed to have performed this surgery. And of course, in this part of the world, it's almost impossible for you to buy anyone's integrity, especially a surgeon who's been through the medical school, advanced for 7-8 years to specialize in his area. And apparently when he was talking to this young man, I don't remember the name, and they must have probably tried to make sure that he understood exactly what he was going in for. So it became apparent to the doctor that this young man was not even, no one disclosed completely to him what he was meant to be coming to do. So apparently there was where the source of how all this broke loose. And if this is true, then personally, I will not stand here before my God and lie. Then I will say this is God trying to expose the how can I say, the rot of what we have in Nigeria. Apparently, Eweremadu, I have nothing against this man, but what I found very sad and shocking, because, up to now, I've kind of lost touch with what political thing is going on there, but this man was a senator, deputy senator from 2007 to 2019. Now, that's 12 years. And apparently, a place like Enugu, UNTH, teaching hospital, some people reportedly said the place had been run down. And apparently, they claimed that this man did not necessarily do anything great or any investment. into the areas of health or what have you. And what is sad for me, the other hand, I'm talking about how I feel, how embarrassing it must be for any Nigerian listening to this. So the question remains, how much research did the Ekweremadus do regarding organ donor in the UK? And as we understand it reportedly, they have 3 other children apart from their daughter Sonia. I'm not sure of the name. I initially thought she was a teenager, irrespective of her age. Apparently she's a young woman in her 30s who's been living here in the United Kingdom, so one would assume that they would have at least had an inkling as to the way the system works. Again, going back to my question and what aches my heart, had Senator Ekweremadu and the wife, during his reign in power, had invested in healthcare in Nigeria, which is not impossible. And often it still baffles me why and how a lot of people's conscience, I'm not isolating him right now, I'm talking about the wider, richer, be they politicians, be they Nigerians, especially politicians, because they're the ones who go in and make promises to people to make things a lot better. How is it that nobody, no government, when they come in, be they federal, be they state, even puts in place a basic functional healthcare system that works? Because let's be honest, if Senator Ekweremadu had invested a bit of energy, resources into the healthcare system in Nigeria, perhaps, I say perhaps, he won't even see the need to be flying the daughter into United Kingdom rather than her having that surgery in one of the hospitals in Nigeria. And we currently hear commonly, which is very sad to me, the healthcare is in disarray. Education, apparently, they've been on strike for 4 months now. This strike things, I remember being in university back in the 80s and graduating in the early 90s in Nigeria. And one of the things that traumatized me personally was the number of strikes by ASU and all that. And you cannot blame the lecturers or the teachers. What kind of government of any country that does not value the same people that are supposed to give our children and give us the education? And how can anyone with conscience in any position in government continue to say they are a senator, a governor, a president, and yet, I say yet, nothing seems to change? And we allow pensioners. I've seen so many videos everywhere. I remember when my father was alive, when he was a pensioner back in the 80s in Nigeria, the constant lack of pay. And some of these people, not everybody in Nigeria has a child or children or family who are abroad, who may be indirectly subsidizing their way of living. These are people who are being pushed down into poverty because your government, a government where government is made by people that came into power and promised heaven and earth. But how does any man or woman feel comfortable knowing, and you feel because you, whatever way you got the money and dollars and pounds you have in your account, which, for me, that's still questionable. And there's no accountability. But it's okay as long as the attitude you tend to see, or as long as my family and I are okay. It's wrong. And we can see in this present situation with the Ekweremadus, some people call it karma, some people call it God exposing Nigeria. For me, I say, let our leaders learn a lesson. It couldn't have happened to a more poignant person. The person who was in government for 12 years. 12 years, you could have done something with the education, with the health care system, with the security. And I say this, any government and any country where the government or the leaders do not prioritize their health care or education or security, It's a jubilation. Tell me what you have as a people. As I remember this saying, health is wealth. But if you feel that you have all the money in the bank and anytime something happens to you, you just fly over to England or America, it is sad. And yet tomorrow the same leaders will complain because of their inferiority complex towards the leaders of the West. What do you learn from your travels? What do you learn from the treatment you get or your family member is getting from the UK, US? Why don't you step back and ask yourself, what and how can I bring something of a similar nature for my people? Why must Nigerian politics and governorship and leadership and African countries be about constantly people moaning, people complaining, and nobody seems to take accountability? Well, I hope that this current issue trending about the alleged organ trafficking of the Ekweremadus and the UK government police charge is a lesson and prompts somebody who comes across this video. If you're a leader, please, there's so many of us in diaspora who will be more than glad to give some good consulting advice and help. Help Nigeria. Put things into place. It doesn't happen overnight, but we cannot for the life of me continue to live this life of denial, and where people get into government, as long as they feel they have enough for them and their family, to hell with the rest of Nigerians, to hell with the rest of Ghanaians, to hell with the rest of Africa. It is wrong. Wake up. You cannot claim to be a man or woman who believes in God, and tomorrow you go to church with all your money, all your bodyguards, and you're pretending or think, oh, thank God, oh, praise God, this and that. God is looking at you. To be a leader is to sacrifice your knowledge, your skills to your people. It's about time we stop this, please. It's embarrassing, it's unnecessary, and whatever comes of this case, my poignant main issue is that Nigeria should not and will not have been embarrassed, talk less of the Eweremadus, if the government of Nigeria had tried to put a few hospitals into decent state. Let our leaders stop, all this. What do we learn when we go abroad? In my own personal life, when I travel for holiday or things, I try to look at things I can emulate and adapt and adopt and implement to better myself or better wherever I've come from. Well, with this being said, I'll come back here when we get to 7th of July 2022, when they number 5, Rahman. Anyway, on this note, I will stop here. I'll come back and give you guys my own personal update and take according to what the courts or what the Eweremadus will be able to, try to defend themselves in the court in Oxbridge in London. On this note, thank you again for stopping by. Let's not stop being proud of who we are, and let us continue to put our leaders, politicians, into prayers. Nigeria needs a leader with selfless aim. Nigeria needs a leader who can at least think for Nigerians. Nigeria needs a leader who is able to bring back home some of those things that you have enjoyed and experienced abroad. It's not impossible. The money is there. The resources are there. We just need to rethink and reframe the way we think as leaders. Anyway, thank you again for stopping by. My name is Ike, and this is my channel. And if you have not subscribed, please hit the like button. Subscribe, share this video so more people will get to see it, and then it also helps the algorithm in YouTube to keep the topic going. And please, if you are thinking of going for medical in the UK, US, anywhere in Europe, do your homework so you do not find yourself in an embarrassing situation. Thank you, and please subscribe to support me, and see you on my next video. Bye-bye.